Thank you for watching KION 546. This is KION News Channel 546 at 11.
So I'm humbled and grateful to the millions and millions of Californians that exercise their fundamental right to vote.
Right now on KION News at 11, an early victory tonight for Governor Gavin Newsom fending off the recall effort. CBS News projects Governor Newsom will remain in office. It's clear here, not really projected anymore, following the recall election to try to remove him from office. Here's a look at the latest polling numbers across the state of California. Newsom here is currently leading with a landslide, 65% in favor of the governor remaining in office, while 34% here of voters have voted to recall, removing him. Thanks for joining us tonight on KION News at 11. I'm Veronica Macias. Newsom is just the second governor in California history to face an actual recall election. Governor Newsom spoke in Sacramento just a short time ago after the race was called here by major news outlets again, including CBS, NBC, and CNN.
We said yes to science. We said yes to vaccines. We said yes to ending this pandemic. We said yes to people's right to vote without fear of fake fraud or voter suppression. We said yes to women's fundamental constitutional right to decide for herself what she does with her body, her fate and future.
Polls, of course, they closed at 8 p.m. and ballots that had previously been mailed in went directly into the voting systems and provided those results, which turned out to be a landslide tonight. Here's a look at the top candidates, though, who have been in the running to replace Governor Newsom. Larry Elder, he had a very big lead here, which was anticipated, with 48%. Voting in favor of Elder to replace Newsom. Kevin Paffrath with 11%. He was the Democrat here, YouTuber. And Kevin Faulkner from San Diego, 10%. And Brandon Ross, someone who was expected here as a top candidate, but garnering 6% nonetheless. Well, Elder was expected again to be the candidate to win out of the 46 challengers trying to replace Governor Newsom. He spoke to supporters in Costa Mesa a short time ago.
The reason we started this campaign is because this man, Governor Gavin Newsom, was sitting up there at the French Laundry restaurant with lobbyists who contributed to his campaign, with the people who drafted the mandates that they were violating by not wearing masks, by not engaging in social distancing, while telling you to do it.
And former President Donald Trump, he's spoken out already about allegations here without evidence that this election was rigged because there were millions of mail-in ballots. Governor Newsom here responding to those allegations of voter fraud.
This election fraud stuff is a crock. It's shameful.
Newsom was easily elected less than 3 years ago, back in 2018. We're going to bring in Dr. David Anderson now, a political analyst. You're going to provide some insight for us, Dr. Anderson. What I want to ask are, what are the takeaways here for both parties, not just Democrats who are learning they have a strong hold, but before the midterm elections, what are the takeaways?
Well, there's elections next year, yes, and so the Democrats should not take anything for granted. I mean, there was a fear of the front runner of Elder, so that Newsom benefited from that. But the Democrats are going to have to reach out to Latino voters, who are the Latinos are 39% of California. About a third of Californians are moderates. The Democrats are going to have to put together a message and an outreach, but they have an opportunity. I mean, they had a win tonight, so they need to build on that.
But I felt like there was a message here, at least to the business owners, right? That there wasn't a clear benefit for them during multiple closures. It seemed like they were trying to appeal to the small business owner, saying you've lost your businesses as a result of this governor. And
this is old-fashioned, sort of Republican politics to address small business and that sort of things. And I think in this campaign, the Republicans sort of lost sight of they got around this elder candidacy. And so I think that the Republicans need to look at their strategies. Next year's a big election year. Every Congress member in the state's up for re-election, and the governor's up for re-election, so it's going to be a big year next year.
You were also saying that this sends a clear message about at least Newsom's campaign next year, saying that he really has a grasp on things now.
Oh, this is a big win for him. I mean, he likely will not even have a primary challenger. He may a token one, but he's going to get through he's going to be renominated by the party, and he has a good chance to win. So for him personally, this is a big plus for him.
Okay, we're going to have more questions for you following up in this newscast. We're going to talk about the Latino vote. You were saying that the Republican Party needed to reach out. We're going to talk about why they were a crucial demographic to look into. But now we're going to turn things over to Santa Cruz County, where poll workers, take a look, they're hard at work counting all those ballots. This is now an inside look at Santa Cruz County's election department. They wanted to be completely transparent here. They have live cameras for people to see those poll workers counting the ballots as they're coming in here. We have a team coverage for you tonight across the Central Coast with reporters who are stationed in 3 of our counties tonight. And we're going to start with KION's Erica Bertin, who's live for us tonight in Santa Cruz County. Erica?
Veronica, voters of all ages came to cast their ballot today here at the Santa Cruz County Elections Office, and there were 3 ways in which they could do so. In person on the 3rd floor of the county building, quickly driving up and using the drop-off bin, or the vote mobile stationed in the main parking lot, which seemed to be the most popular choice. And compared to big elections that usually take place in November, this recall election may have been a little easier.
I didn't have to go through, hundreds of different articles all about all the different propositions and anything. It was just one simple question.
Today was the 4th day of in-person voting for Santa Cruz County at 17 different locations. Voting on the weekend is nothing new, as the county has had it in place for some time. This weekend there were around 500 people who came out to vote. Of course, there was an uptick leading into the recall election day, with 1,500 on Monday and around 3,600 people today. Now, that vote mobile we were following earlier this afternoon did pack up around 8 p.m. just as the polls were closing, but inside the county building, workers and volunteers are still hard at work counting each and every vote. Reporting from Santa Cruz, Erica Bertin, KION News Channel 546.
All right, Erica, thank you. Taking things over now to Monterey County, the elections office still counting ballots there too. So far, more than 70% of people have voted in favor, voting no to replace Governor Gavin Newsom. Our KION's Jonathan Saravia still out there at the elections building. He got to speak to some of those last-minute voters who came in earlier tonight. Jonathan?
Veronica, I spoke to people who arrived just 1 hour before they closed, and I even spoke to one young voter who said he was on his lunch break, but they all said it was important for them to come and vote even if it was last minute. Now, the Monterey County Elections Office register came outside just a few minutes before closing. She and other poll workers were on the lookout to make sure all last-minute voters got to turn in their ballot. And when the clock struck at 8, the Monterey County Register yelled the polls are now closed. And now that they're closed, poll workers are getting ready to count. It is unknown how long it will take them to finish counting all the ballots, since the elections office is still waiting to receive ballots from 138 polling sites around the county.
The poll workers put together their supplies, they do some initial counts, and they seal things to transport to a receiving center or back to the elections office. Those items come back here, we sort, we process, and we get our regular ballots into tabulation, and we tabulate those.
It's important to note that there is a canvass period right after this. The office will continue to count mail-in ballots and provisional ballots, and the election is not certified until October 14th. Veronica, the elections office will be sending their final results to the Secretary of the State, and once they're done counting, but they still have a lot of work to do. Reporting live from Salinas, Jonathan Sarabia, KION News, Channel 546.
Okay, Jonathan, thank you. We now want to turn things over to our digital reporter, Melanie Waintal, to take a look at some of our interactive results for you that she's built on our website. Hey, Melanie, can you show us what you've created there? I know you put a lot of work into this.
Yes, Veronica, if you visit our homepage at KION546.com, you're going to see this website right here, and if you scroll down a little further and you make it to the recall election news and click here with more recall election news, you'll see everything we've covered from the recall election, along with other elements, including this interactive timeline where you get to see all the history from all previous recall elections that we've had in California, including, and also if you scroll a little further, you'll get to this map where you can get to see some data on the traditional polling places from each county compared to the 2018 election also. But all this will be visible on our website, again, in KION546.com.
All right, thank you, Melody. Of course, we know that these days people are also checking their phones for all the results. Turning now to Weather Authority Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca. We're hooked, right?
My phone's saying, take a look at Dan. Dan's going to tell you about some rain potentially in the forecast coming up. Okay, yeah, we said the R word. We haven't said it very often. It's been months, but, you know, we've had some drizzle here. We've had some monsoon raindrops, but we actually have a little bit better chance of rain coming this weekend. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But let's take a look here at the Fremont Peak camera, looking at some of the low clouds already at sunset, rolling across Aromas and into San Juan Bautista tonight. The low clouds rolled in early. It was a cooler day on the coast, cloudier out there. Still hot inland. Bradley at 98 today, but Hollister was in the upper 70s. Most cities in the 60s today. And Santa Cruz, a chilly one. Both Santa Cruz and Watsonville, 65 were your highs today. And out there tonight, we're in the 50s to low 60s. A pretty even night out there, pretty seasonable, mild temperatures, but the low clouds have been thick. They're a little bit deeper tonight, so our visibility is better than last night. These numbers here indicate the visibility at the airports, Watsonville, Salinas, Hollister, and Monterey. So we're talking almost 10 miles, which means it is not foggy there. The clouds are a little bit higher tonight and already pushing into the valleys. Our marine layer is deepening as a weather system approaches. We're going to talk about the timeline of this next weather system, the big changes in your weather and whether we'll see any rain coming up in just a bit.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Well, tonight a body has been recovered in the water off of Panther Beach in Santa Cruz County. CAL FIRE says that witnesses saw a person who was swept out into the ocean. That was about at 4 p.m. today. A 30-year-old man had been seen standing on the rocks. He was pulled in, and after less than 2 hours, rescue crews found his body. And on Sunday, a 26-year-old man was also swept out into the sea near Davenport Beach. His body, though, has not been recovered. A reminder to be careful out there. Well, still ahead here at 11, more election results for you, plus a lesson here for San Benito County, how they've now improved their election process after this past presidential election. And 2 correctional facilities in the county of Santa Cruz now forced to close because of staff shortages. And a possible indoor mask mandate may be coming to Monterey County.
Get the app, get the alert, know the current weather conditions with the KION Weather Authority app.
Introducing Marvin Modern, a new product line that inspires a better way of living. Every element has a purpose, with curated colors and hardware blended seamlessly into the design without sacrificing performance. 21st century ingenuity. No detail overlooked. Marvin Modern. Explore the new Marvin Modern at your local Marvin dealer. Santa Cruz Millwork next to Costco on Coral Street in Santa Cruz.
Bam! Look at that. Internet that doesn't miss a beat.
That's cute, but my internet streams to my ride.
Okay, chill. Because mine's so fast, no one can catch me.
Sweet, but my internet gives me unlimited wireless with 5G.
That's because you all have Xfinity.
Whoa.
Internet and wireless so good, it keeps one-upping itself.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, save up to $400 a year on wireless over AT&T when you add Xfinity Mobile. Switch today.
Think premium can't be capable? Think again. Introducing the first ever AT4 lineup. Premium and capable. That's professional grade from GMC.
Current eligible GMC owners get over a $2,700 purchase allowance on 2021 GMC Sierra light-duty crew cab models when you finance through GM Financial.
See Cardinale, Gold Star, or Watsonville GMC.
Josh Stein, General Sales Manager here at Gold Star Buick GMC, where we're right on the corner and right on the price. Right now, inventory levels are at the lowest in history, causing our competition to mark up their vehicles $5,000 or even $10,000 over MSRP. But you will never find a dealer markup here at Gold Star Buick GMC. We are committed to bringing the best prices to our customers no matter what. Our inventory levels are still great. Come on in and take a test drive today. With one of the largest inventory levels in California, you will always find what you're looking for. At Gold Star Buick GMC, we are professional grade. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back. If you're just joining us tonight, here's a look at the latest numbers across the state of California tonight. Governor Newsom is leading here with a large percentage of the vote, 65% voting in favor of keeping Governor Newsom in office. CBS already has called this race in his favor. Well, the 2020 elections left Americans with a heightened awareness over the transparency of elections, and the recall election no different here. San Benito County has taken some steps now for the public to feel more at ease with the voting process. KION Stephanie Aceves live for us in downtown Hollister tonight, where workers are still sorting through the ballots there, and also with those web cameras available for people. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, Veronica. Well, actually, workers actually announced about an hour ago that they finished sorting and counting through the ballots here. But they also invited the public to come out and watch their process in order to ensure transparency for the public.
The polls are now closed!
As polls across California have closed, the counting and sorting of the ballots begins. San Benito County election says last year people voiced their concerns over the transparency of the 2020 presidential elections in the county. Since then, they've made a few changes to increase transparency in the voting process.
We're taking measures like opening up our entire office through social media. We actually live cast our ballot night counting. We live cast when we're actually running the ballots, when we're signature checking, and we also are inviting a lot of people in the community to come and do tours.
But he's doing a good job as far as he can, what's in his power, to make those changes, to be more transparent. And especially his efforts to go out and canvass and correct issues that pop up with signature verification and those sorts of things.
San Benito County Elections has also made video content showing exact procedures for things like their Dropbox team. San Benito County Elections tells me that they're trying to increase transparency by also hopefully in the future having live sessions for their internal audits of elections. Veronica, back to you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Now taking a look at the top candidates who had been running here to replace Governor Newsom. Larry Elder with a big lead. He was always, for a while, had been anticipated to be the front runner, 44% of the vote going for Republican Elder. Then there is Kevin Paffrath, who is the Democrat here. YouTuber, 10% of the vote for Pathrath. Kevin Faulkner from San Diego, 9%, and 5% here for Brandon Ross, a name that wasn't really expected to be among the top Republicans leading in this race. But we are Democrat, excuse me. But we are now going to turn things over to Dr. David Anderson. And Dr. David Anderson, thank you for joining us tonight. We've been answering a couple of questions about the takeaways from tonight's recall election. Earlier in conversation, we were talking about the Latino vote in California. From those top four candidates that we just had on the screen right now, none of them seem to be targeting, appealing here to the Latino vote, and they were important, you're saying.
That's right. The 39% of Californians are Latino, and that's a potential big voting bloc. And the Latino families, the issues of education, health care, COVID, all, are important issues for them. And I think the major parties, Republican and Democrat both, need to be talking to that voting bloc about how local government, state government is important for them and their families and get them involved.
And of course, at this hour, we still don't know a breakdown of how many Latinos went out to the polls to vote. That's going to be interesting to see. But it could be a big number here because we had also talked about this particular group having a lot to lose when it came to state programs. California being one of the only states in the country to give them stimulus money.
That's right. The immigrant population, the Latino population, has benefited in direct ways from state policies in California. And that's an important message, and it's an important message that the Democrats can play with, but also Republicans need to be addressing how they're going to respond to that and what they're going to offer this voting group. I think in looking ahead in future elections, that's the thing to watch.
Right. Well, of course, the undocumented population not being able to vote, but it affecting so many of their family members.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously the Latino community is concerned very much about the undocumented population, naturally, and that's an issue which is a national issue, but it's an issue which has real importance here locally.
Okay, Dr. Anderson, thank you, and of course, we're going to come back for more insight in just a little bit. We're going to take things over to Weather Authority Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca, who's been talking about rain.
I vote for rain, Veronica. That's what I'm voting for. We're hoping for some rain here this weekend. There is a chance. It's no guarantee at this point. But let's talk about the whole scenario and how this is going to play out for us. Right now, we're kind of under high pressure. It's been blocking weather systems well off to the north. That's typical throughout the summer months. The big ridges of high pressure that exist across the western United States keep the jet stream way off to the north. It just hangs out up in Canada, Alaska, the Arctic Ocean. Why not? It's nice up there this time of year. But as we start to get into the fall, the nights get a little bit longer. We start to see a little bit more amplification in the jet stream, meaning higher troughs or lower troughs, higher ridges. And the ridge of high pressure right here is going to kind of fade a little bit, allowing a trough of low pressure to develop on the west coast as we head into the weekend. And with that, a weather system will sneak on in out of the Gulf of Alaska, bringing much needed rainfall to the Pacific Northwest. They've been dealing with drought up there too. We remember the heat waves that they had this summer. Remember the fires across Washington and Oregon. Of course, we remember the fires here. Well, this rain likely bringing much needed rainfall, much needed relief to fires across the state of Oregon. This is early Saturday morning, and then as we head into the day Saturday, rain into Northern California. These areas haven't seen rain that wasn't accompanied by a barrage of lightning in months. So this is some good news. These areas not going to see a ton of rain, but a nice light soaker is expected in Northern California. It's when it gets to us that it's a little bit more hard to forecast because we're going to be on the tail end of this. This is lunchtime on Sunday. We see the tail end of the cold front kind of reaching our area and washing out. So what does that mean for rain chances here locally? Well, let's talk about that. We're hoping to get some. Timing, if it does happen, is probably early in the day on Sunday. The intensity is light at best, and the impacts should be pretty minor. It would momentarily at least decrease our fire danger and maybe make for some slippery roadways out there. So again, it's a few days out. Still, things will change, and of course, we're going to keep an eye on it for you. But until then, let's take a look at what you can expect, and that's a deepening marine layer. We saw the clouds thicker today, brought cooler temperatures for us as you wake up and head out in that morning commute tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy skies, a little fog up in the hills, maybe on Highway 17, top of the peninsula as well. And during the afternoon tomorrow, I'm expecting the clouds to kind of hang out on the coast like they did today. So expect a partly to mostly cloudy skies across the coast. Another day with cooler temperatures for this time of year. We only topped out at 65 in Santa Cruz today. We'll be lucky to get to the upper 60s tomorrow. 67 in Capitola, only 70s up in the Santa Cruz Mountains. A relief from the heat you've been experiencing. I mean, we are in the upper 90s in Boulder Creek this week. Farther to the south, the whole east shore of the bay in the 60s, upper 60s, Watsonville to Salinas, upper 70s, and Hollister 80s as we head up into Garlic Country. And over to the Monterey Peninsula, high temperatures staying in the 60s, pretty seasonable, 68 in Monterey, maybe just a touch cool for this time of year with that increased chance of clouds. And then one last stop on the tour, 70s and 80s into the Salinas Valley. In the southern valleys, we'll still see some 90s, but closer to the coast, you're more likely to see 70s. And for the next couple of days on the coast, expect cooler, cloudier weather. It's going to feel more marine layery and not like the sunshine we typically see in September. Now, that's going to come a little bit later in the week, and that's because once these weather systems come through, they disrupt that stable marine layer. And instead of having a flat pancake of clouds, you get a little more vertical motion. A little sunshine sneaks through, temperatures warm up a bit. Best chance of some light precip again will be on Sunday morning. And then beyond that, there's some potential for offshore flow, which would unfortunately increase our fire danger, but will also warm us up. So that would be early next week. Inland areas also cooling down a bit for the rest of the week. We're watching for rain chances this weekend. We're watching for offshore flow next week. Make sure to stay tuned to my forecast this week so I can give you the latest info. We're back after this.
If you have a question or a concern, don't forget to message Max.
California, a new generation of the Ford F-150 is here with a redesigned interior, over-the-air software updates, and best-in-class available towing. Right now, get 0% financing plus $1,000 bonus cash on the 2021 Ford F-150, only at your California Ford dealers.
The Santa Rita Union School District is currently accepting applications for its state preschool program, Little Bear Creek Preschool, which serves students between the ages of 3 to 5 years old. If you're interested in applying for the program, visit our website or stop by the preschool located at 18250 Van Buren Avenue in Salinas, or call 831-453-0929. Enrollment is based on family need and family income.
My daughter loves it here because they make her feel like family.
Apply today.
What does shopping for contacts look like at Warby Parker? Well, just imagine your favorite brands, take away the hidden fees, and add free shipping. There you go. Save 15% on your first order of contacts at warbyparker.com. When it comes to contacts, Warby Parker offers dozens of brands, including Scout, our very own comfortable, breathable, and affordable daily lens. Learn more about Scout or save 15% on your first order of contacts at warbyparker.com.
The 2021 Ford Explorer is the SUV of the future, built for everyone. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus with an available hybrid engine to go farther on every tank. Now get a 21 Ford Explorer with 1.9% financing and $2,000 bonus cash, only at your California Ford dealers.
Back returning with news out of Santa Cruz County tonight, a shortage in corrections staff is now causing 2 correctional facilities to temporarily close. The sheriff's office says that the S unit at the Roundtree facility in Watsonville and the Blaine Street Women's Facility will be closed for up to a year. A total of 25 inmates currently reside at these 2 units, and as a result, 5 patrol deputies will also be moved to the corrections facility, the main jail, because of the staffing shortage. And happening tomorrow, the Pajaro Valley Unified School District, they're going to be holding a special meeting to talk about bringing sheriff's office deputies back onto school campuses. The school board voted to remove school resource officers last year, but after a deadly stabbing at Aptos High School, many are now calling for them to be brought back. That meeting starts at 6 p.m., the district office inside the boardroom. Well, a new mask mandate may soon go into effect in Monterey County. They're revisiting the issue here. Today, the County Board of Supervisors approved language for a county-wide indoor face covering ordinance. The vote was approved 3-2. Last week's emergency ordinance did not pass. The mandate will be discussed for final approval next week. That's on the 21st. Well, coming up, a woman pleads no contest to trying to kill her husband's suspected lover in Pacific Grove. And we have a final look at election results. The recall is currently a look at the recall and what we have coming up.
Get the app, get the alert, stay informed on the stories important to you with the KION News app.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip Hop Group Tag Team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Get out!
Listen to me.
Get out of my room!
Nicotine's a neurotoxin that can escalate teen mood swings.
Dentistry for Vets provides quality dental care and dental hygiene to eligible military veterans living in Monterey, Santa Cruz, and San Benito counties. Visit dentistryforvets.org and find out more. Dentistry for Vets, changing military veterans' lives one smile at a time.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and it's time to add the perfect accessories to your new Chevy. Make it bolder. Make it work harder. Make it your own. Find new possibilities. Find new roads. Get great offers from GM Financial and $1,750 cash allowance on Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance towards the purchase of eligible accessories. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Hernia mesh devices have been associated with design defects that could lead to revision surgeries and life-threatening complications. If you or a loved one needed a revision surgery due to complications, call 1-800-LAW-HELP now for a free consultation.
Good evening, I'm Max Charlton. Coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up, elite gymnasts set to testify. The athletes taking the stand about the Larry Nassar investigation tomorrow.
And minimal changes in your Tuesday forecast, forecasting slightly cooler temperatures for your Wednesday. I'll have all those details tomorrow morning at 5. We'll see you then.
Welcome back. Returning now with a crime alert tonight. A Pacific Grove woman has been sentenced to 40 years in prison for trying to kill her husband's suspected lover. The DA's office says that Jennifer Razzo hid in the parking lot of the Pacific Grove bakery where her husband worked and also shot his co-worker in the face. Razzo tried to shoot her again, but the gun jammed. The victim survived the attack. Razzo pleaded no contest to attempted murder. Still ahead, taking a final look at election results tonight. Stay with us.
If you have a question or a concern, don't forget to message Max.
You're a champion. You're not a quitter. Quitters don't do what they're supposed to. Champions do. And you're a star. And you shine. That's what you do. That's what you do every day.
Baker Brothers Appliance and Furniture in Watsonville is your local headquarters for top quality Whirlpool appliances. Featuring this stainless steel French door refrigerator with 27 cubic foot capacity and indoor ice storage. Or how about this new Whirlpool washer featuring Energy Star, Steam Clean, Load and Go XL dispenser and a 5 cubic foot capacity. Or this Whirlpool dryer featuring 7.4 capacity drum with wrinkle shield and sensor dry. Shop Baker Brothers Appliance and Furniture today, serving the entire Central Coast.
Bam! Look at that. Internet that doesn't miss a beat.
That's cute, but my internet streams to my ride.
Okay, chill. Because mine's so fast, no one can catch me.
Sweet, but my internet gives me unlimited wireless with 5G.
That's because you all have Xfinity.
Whoa.
Internet and wireless so good, it keeps one-upping itself.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a one-year agreement. Plus, save up to $400 a year on wireless over AT&T when you add Xfinity Mobile. Switch today.
You're my favorite kind of people, fully vaccinated and chanting my name.
Colbert's got Melissa McCarthy, Justice Stephen Breyer, and Jessica Chastain. New this week on CBS.
Too many of us are familiar with the pain caused by Alzheimer's disease. It's not only those who have the disease who are impacted, but 16 million others left to be unofficial caregivers. And it can be difficult, but there's something that we can do to help. Join me for the Santa Cruz Walk to End Alzheimer's on September 18th at Seascape Park and Resort and help us raise money to fight this disease with research and awareness.